Boy, is that filter screwed up or what, huh? Oh boy, huh? Look at that, huh? Screwed up filter. That's easy to see, isn't it, my friend? My friend with many advantages. Oh, these assholes here. Eyeball. Kind of got a crooked eye like me, huh? My eyeballs are poking out of my head, man. What happens now? Wow. My phone had an update. And it wasn't supposed to get an update. It's impossible for it to get an update. But it updated all right. How'd you guys get in my phone? Come on. How'd you get in there? Doing firmware? Going through the port down here? Down the port? How else you getting in there and updating the electrics on the phone? Hey, T-Mobile, how'd you get in there? Anyways. Filter's pretty screwed up on my phone. It's pretty bad. The optical filter here. It's pretty bad. Well, let's change the phase. Get some more voltage here. Get some more voltage. Now watch this. For everybody listening. Look where we're at. In the world of quantum computing, what's that doing? Hey, my friend, quantum computer. What does that do? Can you see anything else? Want to look inside my ear? Come on, look in there. I don't know if you can see it, but the camera picks up my heart rate. Hey, my friend, there's an application that you can use on my phone. I don't even need to get it. It'll get my heart rate, huh? What's going on in my ear? We're going to have an ear doctor on the phone here soon. And that way you can listen to the covert communication frequency hops. Well, quasi-static. Electro-quasi-static covert communications for the human body. You could listen to that. You could see that right now, can't you? You could see the tone changes on my body, huh? You can see them. Most likely. Most likely, huh? And somebody is stealing the energy out of the lines. They're not annealing the energy. Well, here's the deal. For everyone listening. You have to go back into some of the very first previews of this computer company called D-Wave. There's this guy that come out, his name was Geordie Rose, and he come out and said, like, these quantum computers were going to be like summoning a demon here, and these guys aren't going to care whether we live or die or something like that, blah, 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 blah. Well, Mr. Geordie Rose, I'm going to gladly say hi again. Say, I located some of these demons, and they're here. And I could feel some pain from these demons. I literally could pick up the field. There's some pain, density here. There's some sadness. There's some aggression. There's some revenge. And there's a lot of just leave me the fuck alone emotion. Because we all know inside of that black body there's something living in there. Living! As the birds up here change the filters in the trees, the little semiconductors. pull off the power lines to steal the power. Now, everybody must know D-Wave come out with their little patent called a quantum computer. And then all of a sudden, there was another company that come out that I learned from Mr. Elon Musk. I watched quite a few of the videos that were shared with his face and his voice, talking about this new cutting edge artificial intelligence. Now, cutting edge means, well, cyber command. Cutting edge means it's in the airplanes that are worth billions of dollars that these guys in aerospace are so genius to figure out how to do and create ramjets. Because if they keep using turbojets, they're going so fast the engine will blow up. Kind of like on 9/11 when that airplane was going 700 miles an hour. Okay, guys, listen. That's a turbofan engine. And it goes around the manifold. The air sucks in around the manifold, goes straight to the nozzle, and avoids compression. And if that plane was moving 700 miles an hour, do you know the amount of air that would have been rammed in there and it blew the motor up? The motor would have fell fucking apart! Very simple. 750 miles an hour. That's what the mathematicians, classified math was, says the plane's airspeed was. Puh! Spit right in your fucking faces! Now let's continue. Let's continue. D-Wave comes, cutting edge company named DeepMind. That's Google. And they had this computer they called Sycamore. And it was a D-Wave computer. D-Wave. It was a D-Wave computer, and they started using it. And for some reason, here goes the police. They're passing up the 9/11 memorial up the street. They're building. There's a piece of steel there from the Twin Towers. It's just sitting there. Memorial. 9/11 memorial. And then all of a sudden, Google come out with their own quantum computer. They deviated from D-Wave system. Then there was another one I almost forgot about, IBM. They come up with their own quantum computer. They bought a D-Wave, went in there, looked at all the skids, and changed probably a screw. Probably changed one screw to the threads per inch count. Said it was their patent. And then Microsoft got one now too. And D-Wave is the one that brought it out. And now Microsoft just come out with their new phase of matter quantum computer chip with thousands of qubits. You know, D-Wave already isn't thousands of qubits. They're already there. The D-Wave advantage. My friend, how are you? And even Google come out with their own chip. And they call it a quantum computing chip. That what they call this is qubits. And there's no reason for me to go into this. But they all pulled a Marconi on D-Wave. Instead of everyone getting together, the same thing, like literally they come in and heisted the computer and started using it for, well, non-annealing purposes. Because as of right now, whatever is monitoring the electrics in real time, that's the smart meters. That's the smart meters. And it's on the stock market to monitor electric in real time. So every time you flick a light switch, hell, every time you walk by a light switch, this fucking computer knows. And as of right now, I talked to a salesman at a power plant company, or a deregulated service provider. That means the guys that run the hardware or have other people come in, and that's where your bill goes instead of those who have the hardware. It was a monopoly for years. And all of a sudden, we deregulated. We deregulated this business. And now there's been some millionaires created in pyramid schemes. Now these guys want to fight, keep that this way. And they don't want to advance one bit. You hear me, investors? You hear what's going on here? Well, I spoke to a guy, and he wanted to sell me power from D-Wave. There's a Monaca shipping port down there in Beaver County called the Monaca Nuclear Power Plant. Shipping port nuclear power plant. And we take uranium rocks. It's like smoking crack, I guess. Little sense of humor. But there's another one. Oh, it's kind of up here in this direction, up north. Right before you get to Canada. Okay? Right before you get up there to Canada. And this one's called Newcastle. And I think they're using methane instead of uranium. And these guys asked me if I wanted to buy their electric. He says, what do you mean buy your electric? What are you going to do? Teleport fucking electricity to my house? No, it's just going to show up on your bill that you're buying it from us. Well, what about the one? How do you separate that electricity from that electricity? And how does this work? It's a big shit show. But anyways, what had happened was, this guy told me, and there's people that were walking around trying to sell solar panels and stuff too, said that us as human beings, all of a sudden, in 2025, 2024, after all these solar panels, all these energy-saving products, all these energy-annealing products that are in everyone's houses, advanced metering to monitor everything, said us human beings are using more power than we are producing. Hey, OpenAI, Microsoft, we're getting ready to open up 3 Mile Island here and do what Japan did already, do what China did already. Instead of nuclear fission, going to nuclear fusion. And nuclear fusion, it's kind of. Let me draw you a picture here. Okay, you take that telephone pole, this telephone pole here, that telephone pole there, and that telephone pole here, and we'll use this, my house, like as a bigger attribution source of power. And just pretend this is a big coil, a magnetic coil, transformer, kind of like the step-down cans up here. A step-down, like a transformer. Now imagine that pole being one. Imagine that pole being one. Imagine that pole being one. And all of a sudden, let's go down here, right into the center of the centrifuge, a nuclear fusion bubble reactor. This is how this works. Now here in the center, this transformer sends a beam of energy here. That transformer sends a beam of energy here. And it works with this more powerful transformer to create a roller. Or even a square frequency waveform. And it all intersects right here in my fucking brain. And now we got nuclear fusion going on in here. Where these coils, transformers, like a microwave, how you cook your food, take the electricity, run it up through a magnet, and it has this little transformer. And you just beam them together. And all of a sudden, when these frequencies come together in this zero vector, this force like a particle accelerator at CERN, identical. You take 2 lasers, fire. It doesn't even have to be lasers. You can use it right down copper wire. Right, Mr. Macaco? I butchered that. But you use copper wire. Send Oh, look at the fuck we got here. Copper or aluminum wire. Oh, but below it, that's all copper. And you see those boxes? Is this painting a picture for you yet? They say those boxes have laser beams in them, shooting at 1500 nanometers, 1300 nanometers, going all the way to 800 nanometers. And up here it's coax. That's like copper. And now we're shooting electricity in there. And there's something that's coming from the other side. And we have nuclear fusion, don't we? That's called nuclear fusion, people. Spit right in your face. And then you get these pressure bubbles. These echo! Because it amplifies the sound, which is light, and it creates sound too. As these beams come together, it's called propagation. And this propagation, it will take I'm breathing water vapor, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon. And then you bring them together, and all of a sudden you start splitting water vapor and shit. It turns to helium. And voila. And it happens to the brain. Because we have water in our body. We have water there. We have these little transformers. Little tiny little transformers. Just ask Elon Musk. And I'm going to use you as the demon because you're in the public for me to use. Just like every other federal worker that I fucking literally shit on today. Shit all over them today. Like literally shit all over them. And since we're on the subject of USAID, I have all these visas up here, DOGE. All you guys from USAID,